What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Detroit Pistons, and we're going to be talking about how this team is starting to play exciting basketball again, and we're going to jump right into the video. And if you look at the Detroit Pistons over the stretch of their last 4 or 5 games, you can tell like this just looks like a really different team. They're out there playing with a different aura. They're making less mistakes, and they look more cohesive on the offensive side of the ball. And it really starts if we go back right before the All-Star break against the Boston Celtics. I feel like that was such a huge win for the Detroit Pistons for many reasons. We're a super young team. We figured out how to win the game down the stretch, and then it was against a really good team in the Boston Celtics at the Garden. Like, that is so impressive for our young team. And ever since that game, the Detroit Pistons just look a little bit more, they look a lot more energetic. They look a lot more aggressive, and my biggest thing is they're not making the little petty mistakes that you see young basketball players make. So that's what I've been noticing over the Pistons over the last couple of games, and I think some of the things that contribute to that the most is this more exciting style of basketball. First, mainly is that we're finally getting close to 100% healthy. And I don't know if, like, a lot of people who watch the Pistons, they don't really know this, but we were missing two key players for a huge chunk of the time this season. And not only that, Cade Cunningham was dealing with a high, not a high ankle sprain, but he was dealing with an ankle sprain coming out of training camp. But those two players I'm talking about is Jeremy Grant and Kelly Olynyk. And before I get to Jeremy Grant, like, a lot of people don't understand how good Kelly Olynyk is, and his basketball reputation took a huge hit because people saw him as a dirty player after what he did to Kevin Love in the NBA playoffs the first year that LeBron went back to Cleveland. But anyways, Kelly Olynyk, he is a baller. He can shoot the three. He's not too bad around the rim. And what I like about him the most is he has a very high IQ, and his high IQ allows him to be in the right place on the offensive side of the ball, but not only on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball as well. Kelly Olynyk knows how to put himself in the right spots, and we've seen how detrimental he is to the Detroit Pistons last night after playing against the Charlotte Hornets. He looked really good against those guys. And then Jeremy Grant, he brings so much to the table. We're talking about a 20 points per game scorer, missing night in after night out. Of course, the Detroit Pistons they're gonna lose some games because Jeremy Grant is a huge part of what we're trying to do here. And I don't have to go into details about his game. 3-level scorer, great defender, versatile defender, and that's probably where I think we missed him the most, is on the defensive side of the ball. But I think getting back healthy, I think since we gotten Jeremy Grant back and also Kelly Olynyk, we've been playing. We're a totally different basketball team. And then another thing that I think contributes to this new exciting style of basketball is I feel like the Detroit Pistons and this team, like the roster, everyone is starting to find their identity. For example, like Hameed Diallo, I feel like he's come into the Detroit Pistons this year and he's found a role for himself, and that role may not be a star or a superstar or a starter, but I feel like he's found the role to be able to come off the bench and provide that spark plug for the Detroit Pistons. And the most underrated part of Hameed Diallo's game is how good he is on the defensive side of the ball. I saw a stat that says since December 21st, he's leading the league in steals, and he's a guy that comes off the bench and he brings that energy to the Detroit Pistons. He plays at 100%. He plays with 100% energy all the time on both sides of the floor. On offense, like I said, he come in, he ignites the crowd. Whether he's getting a fast break dunk, he's catching a lob, or he's just putting the ball on the floor and getting to the rim. And then on the defensive side of the ball, something that the Pistons need so desperately is defense. And this is what I say about our team. We have a bunch of great individual defenders. They just need to learn how to be cohesive on the defensive side of the ball. But Hameed Diallo, he's very athletic, very quick on his feet, and he's very quick laterally, so that allows him to play great defense. And I feel like he's found a role. I feel like he's found the role of being that the Pistons spark plug off the bench going forward, because he's a young guy, and I think we should keep him around just to keep him as that spark plug coming off the bench. And then I feel like Jerami Grant and Cade Cunningham, they're starting to look better on the court together when it comes to kind of who's the #1 option. And right now it's looking like a 1A, 1B type of thing. Whoever has it cooking, that's who's gonna have the ball down the stretch. And I kind of like that for right now, because last night against the Charlotte Hornets, I saw both those guys make key shots down the stretch. So has Saddiq Bey, and we're gonna get to him later in the video. He's been tearing it up lately. But like I said, I seen Cade and Jerami Grant. I've seen them be able to play down the stretch together and look effective. So that's something that I like from the Detroit Pistons, that these guys are figuring each other out and learning how to win with each other. And then also, another thing that I've seen from the Detroit Pistons that's ignited them is Killian Hayes. His confidence is starting to build up. And bringing him off the bench seems like to be a great move by Dwayne Casey, because his confidence is starting to grow. Last night with Cade Cunningham getting into foul trouble, Killian Hayes played a lot of more time than he usually does, and then he played the whole fourth quarter. And even though this is what I like to see, because even though Killian Hayes only had 6 points, he had about 7 rebounds and like 6 assists, or 6 assists and 7 rebounds. But he was playing some really good basketball last night, and he figured out how to put his imprint on the game without scoring the basketball. And then he also had a great move. He went behind the back, got a left hand and one, and you could just see his whole teammates came off the bench and they hyped him up. And that's that type of stuff right there that's gonna put Killian Hayes in a more confident mindset. But he was able to leave his imprints on that game last night without dominating the basketball and dominating when it comes to scoring. He played great defense, he got others involved, and he hit the board. So that's what and also he made the game-winning pass to Kelly Olynyk last night. So Killian Hayes, I feel like they might be baby steps, and the Detroit Pistons are going to continue to have to be patient with him. But I like that he's stepping up, and he stepped up in a big moment last night. And even though they're baby steps, at least it's forward progress. As long as he isn't regressing and he's progressing, the Pistons should remain to be patient with him, because we got to remember he is a lottery pick, so we can't just give up on him too quick. He's still only 20 years of age, and I don't even think he's played 50 NBA games yet. So Killian, I feel like the more confident he gets, the more better the Detroit Pistons get. And then lastly, man, the biggest factor of our team being more exciting and more entertaining is our young stars are developing right before our eyes. Isaiah Stewart, he's looking better. He's getting more, I think he's getting more confident on the defensive side of the ball. He's starting to make up for his lack of size. And then also on the offensive side of the ball, it seems like he's developing a baby hook, and that could be a very pivotal move to have in the NBA. And then Cade Cunningham and Saddiq Bey, and especially Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey has been making clutch shot after clutch shot. And not only these threes aren't wide open, these threes are with 2 hands in his face, defenders draped all over him, and he's still making the tough shots. And Saddiq Bey looks like he has the potential to be one of the best 3-and-D players in the NBA, like an all-star level 3-and-D player. And he's starting to get he's starting to use, because he's a big player. He's really strong. He's starting to learn how to use his body in the post. And Saddiq Bey is just, as the season goes on, he's getting gradually better. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. And then Cade Cunningham, still learning the speed of the NBA, still getting better, starting to get to the free throw line more, and he's just starting to get more comfortable. But for the Detroit Pistons to close out this season, would love to see for them to get some more wins, because it's going to be so good for development. But that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below if you like this new exciting style of the Detroit Pistons, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.